Hooray! Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of a funny game, and this video won't be as long as the previous ones have been, because this game is not really that big in terms of complexity. So this is a game called Across the Obelisk. It's a roguelite RPG deck builder, and it's been released completely, so this is not an early access game at all. It has support after the early access period was closed and the game was released, and it still gets support. It's quite an interesting little game, because it's a roguelite deck builder, like I said, but it deals with classes rather than just random cards tied to heroes, right? So I'm going to show you the, not the credits, the options menu first, and there's not a lot here, as is per usual for these kinds of games. You can actually reset your data, which I actually like, but for the most part, the game is kind of very generous in its lack of options. Like it really, it has some stuff, but it's not a lot. It also has a sort of tome, and I've played for 30 hours, and I've pretty much unlocked almost everything, not quite everything. And these are my runs, as you can see. I don't have that many. You might wonder, okay, so how do you have 30 hours? Well, each run takes quite a while, so it's quite a meaty little game that you got here. And I don't know if I'm better than most people, but I find that you can almost complete it after the first few runs, right? So if I click play here, there's 3 modes. There's the RNG, let's go. This one's quite fun. Then there's normal adventure mode where you unlock stuff and it's like a journey, and it takes quite a while. And it's a story mode actually, because this is a story-driven kind of game-ish. And then there's the weekly challenges, right? We're gonna do adventure mode. I'm gonna create a new save for this. Now this looks a little bit confusing probably, and I don't blame you for thinking so. These are the classes available in the game. There are 4 different archetypes, right? Warrior, Scout, Mage, Healer, yeah? And now every single one of these is 4 choices. You might think, oh, are they similar? No, they're not. They're really not. Just because it says Warrior here does not mean that these guys are the tanks and that's it. This guy focuses more on, if I show you here, he's more blocking, sort of tanking, like he's more prevent damage as it arrives. Heiner, which is the guy I'm usually running with, he's more like prevent damage as it's happening, like just, he's more passively reducing the damage. But he also has a lot of blocks that react to damage. So like if it takes a hit, he'll retaliate, right? That's him. This guy's more bleed in your face, Fury Warrior, Berserker. He's quite powerful. I don't know this kind, but I'm gonna guess it's a debuff tank, sort of. You've got choices. And the scouts are the same, this is physical damage, melee kind of mix. Poison damage, I don't know, and I don't know. I haven't met these 2 yet. Mages, she's very ice magic focused in my opinion, but some people play her differently. Now, every single character here has a starting deck, as you can see. This is what they're going to start with. And they also have a starting item, and this will differ. And they also have starting stats, which will also differ, see? Right? As you can see. Now, as you play with these characters, they're going to level up, right? Now, how does that work? Well, you've got your traits here, and this is how they're going to level inside your campaign, right? And as you level, this is what they start with. All of them have a different one. See, they're all different. Well trained here. He's got like reduction to stuff. As they level, they're gonna have choices to make. Now these are very powerful, extremely powerful, and they usually pertain with whatever the character's good at. So this guy's focused more on bleeding, but that doesn't mean you have to go bleeding. You can go tireless instead, or you can go, sort of fury, which is what this guy focuses on. He's berserking basically. So you're not 100% locked in. Now these traits level in the game, and these cards are set in stone. You're gonna get these whether you like it or not. But you can replace them, delete them, buy new ones, so on and so forth. Now you might see this little part here, and yes, this is the Rogue Light part of the game. This carries over every game. So if you wanna, and you're not locked in, like I said. Like if you wanna make this guy ice magic, you can. I don't know how you're gonna make that work, but the game doesn't stop you. If you wanna do that, go ahead. You have choices here. Gold and shards are used in the shop in the start of the game. So this one is a bit of a risk reward, this, because you start in a town, you have a set amount of gold, and you'll go in and you'll buy your stuff, and when you've bought your stuff, that's it. You're gonna have to go on the adventure now. And then the next map, same thing, you're in the town again, and whatever you've gathered up to that point will be used here, right? So this is a risk reward kind of thing. If you go full on here, spending your perk points on this stuff here, let's say I do that for showcase. Well, these could have been used on passives here, like this, then maybe some, I don't know, if you go into physical and this guy's fury, right? Maybe you can't afford all this now, even if it's max level. So you have to kind of balance this. Like maybe one of your character is more of a, I wouldn't say useless, but maybe he's more focused on around just granting you all these benefits here that will help you start the run, while the other characters are focused on, killing stuff. So you can really tweak and sort of min-max after you've understood the concept of the game, right? Now, there's yet another part of the game. This game has a lot of customization, actually. So if you go rank here, this is how much you play the character overall. And you'll get, like, upgrades first and foremost to the starting card. And the starting card is this thing here. This is the starting card. This will get stronger and stronger and stronger as you play in with the character. And you also get cosmetics here, see? Your skin, talent cards, You can really, make the game kind of look kind of good. How does that look? Well, as you can see, I've unlocked card backs here. I've unlocked this one. Also got, like, you get the general gist, right? So if I were to go Reginald here, and he's already been, actually they've already been tweaked. So all I need to do really is press begin. If you want to play My Seed, which is the game I'm playing, you can use this part here. But for now, well,
it all started on
the story here if you want to hear it.
Birthday. When suddenly, a burst of energy erupted from the princess's chamber and swept through the kingdom of Sinenthia. The royal guards explored every corner of the castle, but found no sign of her, or Lord Hanshek, the court magician. The king sent soldiers all over the kingdom, but none of them returned. The trail of the princess was lost, deep in the old forest, near the ancient obelisk that had been dormant for centuries. Desperate, the king proclaimed a royal decree, announcing a reward for whoever brought the princess home safely. The news spread quickly throughout the kingdom. Many groups of adventurers prepared to investigate the obelisk. This is the story of one of those groups.
Alright, so the game kind of oozes this aesthetic, and it's really, really quite something. So here's the first map. They're always the same, so, Now you see these little quests that are dotted around the place. Some of them will unlock as you investigate certain things, but I'll use this guy as an example. This is a character event. So if you didn't have the Pigman, then this guy will probably unlock him for you, right? So and then there are different ways to play this. The only thing that will differ every time is that some of these will be epic, some of these will be uncommon. So the quests here change every time, and I think these might change too. So it allows you to get a new, fresh experience every single time. Also means you won't be as strong as certain runs, right? So here we're gonna see that we got about 2,000 gold. We got, we can improve the town. I mean, that's nice. If I want to go in here and I want to upgrade the town, I can do that. And this is another rogue light part of the game. As you can see, I've unlocked quite a bit here. So if I were to want to unlock some of this stuff, I'd need 12, which I don't have, right? So there's another roguelite aspect of the game that you're going to have to deal with. Now, this looks a little bit confusing. You're like, oh shit, there's a lot of numbers. It's really not. You can just sort of tweak this as you see fit. And it's quite straightforward. I'll show you. This part of the game is the last run, right? So if I'm like, oh shit, you know, I did pretty well last run. So I can unlock this. And you can have three chests here filled with money. So you can basically force a win, is what I'm saying. If you like, oh shit, you know, I'm playing real difficult, it's not going well at all, you know, god damn it, or whatever, then you can sort of play a run, lose after a while, come back here, you'll have 2 chests, and maybe you'll pop them both, and then you can be really powerful. So these are different sort of ways to tweak the experience as the run progresses. Also, this town screen will be the same in the next area. So this will be able to remove cards from your deck. This, you can craft cards for the deck. This is very good. I recommend this. So you can sort of, like, for example, I've made this guy a battery, right? So I have choices here. There's a lot of spells. So I can sort of make him RNG and sort of make him pull things that I know I'll need. And there are quite a few good choices here for this type of character that I'm running. This guy's fire-orientated, but I'd like to make him into a battery. Basically, buff everyone else, buff their capabilities, buff their weaknesses, essentially. Because I know that this guy has a lot of potential to do that. And a good way to do that is Scroll of Intellect. That's nice. This allows you to become stronger next turn. There's also a bunch of... now these will vanish, which means you can only use them once, and that's sort of it. But you can sort of tweak that away. You can level the cards up, basically. So I can basically use this one, and I'll get Scrolls of Intellect, which will allows me to get extra energy, but also extra cards. So it's a way to force card draw. And then you can sort of get stuff like this, which is quite good. So let's get one of these. I think this is quite fun to play with. And we'll get one of these too. So now I have sort of gotten a few spells for this guy, and you can do the same for every single one of them. This guy I like to run poison, and there are quite a few good choices for poison here. I think what I'd like to do is I like Toxic Rain. I really enjoy that spell, so I usually get 2 of these. Because again, it's quite cheap and it applies poison and wet, which I'll talk about in just a second. I don't remember. You can actually check exactly what these will turn into later, but I'm not going to go too deep into that. So what I want to do is I want to show you a bit of what you can sort of play with. So this one's quite expensive. Poison Dart is quite good. We might go like a very cheap build, because I have this guy who will be able to help me get the cards that I need. This one's okay. But let's not dig too deep here. Let's go to this guy. He has a few things that are quite good too. First aid could be nice to have one of. So let's just give him that, nothing else. This guy is very healer focused. I find that having that as a choice is very good. There are characters that don't heal. Flat out, just do not heal. Now, you can upgrade your cards too. And this will cost mana as well. If I wanted to... Oh, shit, I'm in the wrong place. I think it's... This is craft card, remove cards. Yes, here we go. So here I can sort of upgrade the cards. And this is cheaper than you'd expect. Obviously, some of these cards get quite nerfed if you do this. Like, if I were to make this free, it will cost me a lot, first and foremost, but also it will reduce the regeneration that it grants. But it also means that, you know, it's a fire and forget spell. You can just use it for free and it's pretty good. Now, usually what I like to do is I'd like to get Dispel Fire, because fire is quite nasty in this game. So I usually go for this one. Healing Rain. Because obviously, dispelling fire completely is quite mandatory, I find. Now, this part of the game is where the RNG aspect comes in a little. This is where you use most of your... You can buy items here, sure. And every game, you can upgrade this, and this is what the items will get. So also pets here. Pets are something you find generally in the map, and you can sort of adopt them, and then you can buy them in here, and they'll be permanent. So, for example, this guy, I find him with Lancy is quite nice. So it casts Poisonous Bite, that's nice. So you'll have that now. He'll be with this guy wherever he goes. And then I have his starting equipment, which is the Venom Flask. Applies poison to all monsters. That's nice. So I usually tend to get some of the pets here, because, I mean, they're free, and they're quite good. So this guy will cost Tantrum. And the bunny will cost Hurry Up. If you want to know what these do, you know, click on them. And you get, like, an exact description here. The Tantrum, for example, is just a damage thingy, which I like to use, for now anyway, on my healer. And I think I'll use this guy on the robot dude. This guy sadly doesn't have one here. I can give him the Fey member, it's fine. Right, so I've spent some gold. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run with this. I'm not gonna do anything fancy. I am going to do some RNG. Now, I get to pick one for each. Right? Or I can pick money. If I look at this, Benediction is quite good. Fanaticism could be good. It's not always good though. Because obviously, this card is like... deals a dark a lot, and you need to kind of keep using it for dark to be useful. As you can see, it reaches 25 charges, then explodes. So that's nice, but obviously this card is it can be good, but I am afraid of using too much cards in a deck. But you can kind of tweak this. So we'll go for this. Now Replenishment is actually one of the stronger cards. And the problem with it is that you'll need a lot of mana to make this happen. But that's what I'm saying, he's a battery. So you can make this happen. So I'll pick this card now, because I know how powerful it'll be. None of these appeal to me. Split your block. You can sort of throw it over your entire party. Let's just pick some money instead. And then we'll go in here. Not here, sorry. We'll go into upgrading. There are a few things that we can actually upgrade here. There are a few good cards here. Can we remove cards? Oh, it's free. So it's free down to 15, I think. We don't need that many steel skins. And what about you? He's got quite a few cards that are very bad for us. Like Dual Strike, for example. We don't need this. This is just in our deck for no reason. Ambush is nice, but I don't intend to go block, but that's okay. We'll keep Sneak Peek. We'll get rid of Blur, I think. We don't need too many of them. This guy has 18 cards. There are some cards here that are very bad. Fireball, for example, will not be able to get that out. Blair could be nice, but I think we'll just remove that for now. Reginald has Holy Smite, which I'm not using. I have a very specific deck here, I think. Now, I can upgrade again, like I said, which we will be doing. Now, what I upgrade here could be quite I think we need this. I genuinely think we desperately need that. Now this is a Vanish card. If I were to upgrade this, it will no longer be a Vanish card, but it'll be weaker. This is stronger, but I should go for that whenever I can. I can't really go for this. Toxic Rain then. So, ideally, we do not want wet if we can avoid it. Honestly, it will probably get me killed. So, all right, let's do a run. I'm ready. Now I get to choose where to go here. It will tell you exactly where I can sort of lean towards. Now, I want this because I don't remember what this entails. But I also want to go up here, and I will probably want to go this way like this. So boop, 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 and then just up here. And ideally, I want that into this. That's what I'm going to try to go for. So let's go for the dogs first. Now, this game is fully turn-based. Now, as I said earlier, these will do their thing whenever their turn rolls around. Now, this is the best part of the game, I'll be honest. Like, once you're out here, because, you know, it took me 21 minutes to get to this point, right? So what I'll do is I'll sort of play this by ear and try to poison them and try to make sure they die appropriately. Now, here is a difference in what all of this means. Poison means happens after the turn has ended. So when this creature has done its thing, poison will happen. Bleed and fire happens before the turn happens. So when this guy gets his turn, fire and bleed will happen, and then he'll do his turn or whatever. The reason I mention that is because poison is stronger. Like, it stacks incredibly high, but obviously it will only happen after they've taken their turn. So that could be bad. I can't use this because I don't have stealth. But that's okay. So they'll do their thing now. There, so watch him now. See, he died because of poison. Now you can see what they're about to do. But right now that's not relevant because it's not their turn anymore. We're still in, this is my turn, and then the next turn will roll around. And this will show you, this is like a reward based for how well you're doing. If you have a team that's able to do a lot with little, then this will be very good. Like, you'll be able to win the round quick. So what we're gonna try to do is buff some of these guys up, make sure they don't die. And then I want to do this, just to be able to make sure they die. Let's just tweak that up a little. Now this guy is quite good. Like I said before, he's a battery. Now, the interesting part is he can grant other people the battery effects. That's why he's so strong. So he can sort of really play around with what you have. So if I were to do that, and that, and that, I basically make sure that they die pretty much on the first round. Hopefully. Yeah, there you go. This will increase the reward significantly. Look at this. Right? And the card tiers increase as well. I have Poison Shot here, Sneak Peek, and Viper Strike, none of which I'm particularly interested in. I have to say, this is a very fun game. Like, if you're looking for a game like this, you won't get a better one than this. This one is so underrated. Because, again, like, these cards are not specific to me. Like, these cards will show up on every single warrior. So you can really tweak if you like one's starting stuff. None of these I don't particularly want, actually. Burst of Agony. Now you might be wondering, so how much RNG is it actually? Well, not a lot actually, because you can kind of, not only can you restart the fight, or the if you felt you did something wrong here, you can sort of do it again, because it will show you the same stuff, but in case you picked the wrong thing. Now, how much RNG? Well, due to how the villages work in the start, and how the fact is that you can, you know, collect chests, and then just fix your issues. Like, you can make a run that's powerful. Because of that, and because of how you can save decks in the start of the town, you can actually do that. If you have a very specific run that you run with every single time, you can save what you've done and you just buy it instantly without thinking. So you have a lot of customization. Scry is kind of good, but let's just go with money for now. Alright, so here is the sort of event part of the game. So this is rolling, and it will show you the success probability. 5 cost cards or lower. So I can forage for magic shards, or I can fish for something. Now, why would you want to do that? Because fish can be used to feed certain creatures, like pets. Or I can look around for some magic shards. Or I can explore, or I can, you know... Well, I'll try and look around for some magic shards, why not? Seems I succeeded. Alright, so here is a choice. I'm gonna go this way. Now, here is another aspect of the game. So, it will tell me that I can corrupt this encounter. And if I do that, if I accept this challenge, all monsters will gain extra fire damage, and it will apply bullshit. So, if I do that, I get extra score. But I'll also be able to choose one of these rewards. Right? So if I do that, let's see. So this is Divine Insight. I'll get this as well as a choice. So I can pick this if I wanted, or I can go for this. Each hero will be able to remove 1 card for free from the deck. Let's go with that. Okay. Now, I don't have the stealth thing, so that's unfortunate. But what I'll do is, I'll poison everyone a lot. I'll make sure he dies. And then I'll stealth myself again, so that I stay safe. This is gonna hurt quite a lot, because obviously they have fire stuff. Yeah, so... and now can go for taunting, or I can Thunder Armor. Sure, let's do that. Guarding, sure. Doesn't matter, actually. Oh, yeah, should have gotten that earlier. God damn it. Okay, whatever. Alright, so I'll do this one turn and then I'll wrap this up. Let's see. Insight. I'll show you this. This is what this does. This is why I call him a battery, right? Because he can do this. He can really, like, set up other characters. Right, I'll just kill him so that we get less people to deal with next turn. And ideally, I'd want to kill these before the turn ends, but that's not looking very possible. Now, it will tell you when it's going to roll over. So, next turn, round 2, I will get this instead of this. So, it's unfortunate, but I don't think I can force this. I don't think so. I can heal him a little. And then roll over the turn. And we can try and kill them pretty much immediately. I don't have enough to do that. Alright, so I won on turn 2. Which you can see that's the reward for that. I like Emberstorm as a spell, but it's quite difficult to justify taking it, but I'll do that anyway. Sure, whatever. Toxic Rain, yes please, and yeah, whatever. Alright, so now we get the part that we were rewarded with. Now I can't go any lower on this guy, but I can go lower on this guy, and I want to do that. I want to get rid of some of the stupid cards that I will not be using, like Flare for example. So you can really sort of tweak your run, and sometimes this corruption will come up. So it will be saved. It's nice. Now, do I recommend this game? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes. 100 times yes. 100 times yes, more than ever. Like, this game is fantastic. It's 20% off right now. No, I'm not sponsored to say that. I'm just letting you know. Normally, it's $19.99, so 20 euros on Steam. Currently, it's $15.99 on Steam, obviously. I would get this. 100%. I would. This is a fantastic game. It's great. I have 30 hours in it, and I could keep playing. Like, this game is good. This game is very good. But that's all from me, really. I have nothing else to say. Yeah, I'm not gonna plug myself because fuck that shit.